Here, we're going to be giving you a blow by blow or a very comprehensive picture of our academic program. We will be showing you the history, our vision, who we are, what are the things that we highly believe in, our learning philosophy, the academic programs, our fly, safe, and play Sagradan, our curriculum, the learning management systems, the competent faculty members, the academic support, the parent support, of course, the matriculation fees, and there will be a portion for Q&A. So, just a little background of our 25-year basic education institution. Montessori de Sagrada Familia was founded 25 years ago by a couple, our president and vice president, Mr. and Mrs. Alfredo and Concepcion Santos. So 25 years ago, they were also like us. They used to have these school-aged children, and they used to send them to this private school. And Sir Fred and Mom Seth, they also had this set of standards, and they said they kept on looking for these things in the school of their children, okay? And they said, I really value, especially Sir Fred, I really value safety, I really value comfort, I value cleanliness, and I want a school that will give me quality education, competent teachers, conducive to learning facilities. That's his vision. So one day, they were looking at this lot of theirs in Tangos, and they said, what do you think should we do with this vacant lot? And an idea came to their mind, and they said, why don't we put up a school? In that way, whatever dream school we have for our children, it will become a reality, and they will be able to experience the best. Okay, so that's their desire at that moment. And lo and behold, in the year 1997, they built the first two-story building of MDSF, that is this. And the first set of enrollees were, of course, their children, their family members, the neighbors, the relatives, and the mga inaanak, family, friends, and all, the community of Tangos. And this was the first set of faculty members and administration. Mr. and Mrs. Santos are not educators, but they were guided by two of their aunties who were retired principals of schools. One is from private and public school, and one is from a university in Cagayan de Oro. And so they were guided, and they built on the first few years. It's been a great journey for them, and the parents of these children, of the first set of students, they were satisfied, and they recommended MDSF. It was like parang some kind of word of mouth recommendation. MDSF was recommended by parents to their relatives, to their co-workers, to their friends. And year in, year out, MDSF would grow in terms of student population and school facilities. And it did not only grow in terms of students, but also in terms of our accomplishments. So for the past school years, we have been hailed as the highest pointer school in a number of inter-school competitions in the district, provincial, regional, and even national and international. In all categories or events, in academics, campus journalism, cultural events, and even sports. And we would even have students who would qualify and win in the National Press Conference. And in the Palarong Pambansa, we also had we were able to send our swim team in Hong Kong Manta Swim Meet. and it was a communal success. And it was almost every year that the school population grew, the area, the campus grew. So later we will be showing you also our facilities. And I believe that the even if God planted the dream in Sir Fred, in the founder, as a gift for his family, his own Santos family, little did the couple know that they were building a school for the community. And now, even not only for the community, but even for the families from all parts of the world, now that there's pandemic. So this was us before the pandemic. But of course, when the pandemic hit the country, um, a number of students opted uh, academic pause, or they stopped schooling. And then also there are some families who opted to transfer to the public school, and it's understandable because we really didn't know what to do, and so many things were going on, right? So now our goal is to really welcome or accommodate them back together with the new families, because we miss them. And at MDSF, well, a lot of families know this, but that we really value this sense of community, sense of belongingness, sense of family. Almost everyone knows everyone, no matter how big we may get. So there, and we hope that you will be part, your child will be part of this picture soon when we get to have a photo op, and that you will experience what it's like really being part of the Sagradan community. So that's our story. And in the year 2017, we realized that we had already accomplished our first vision. So we decided to cast a very ambitious and audacious goal, which is to become the learning hub for creativity and innovation. And in order for us to become one, we have decided to really adhere to the learning philosophy of constructivism. And dear parents, we just realized that the pandemic really forced us to become a learning hub for creativity and innovation. Because I remember, since this was our vision, hindi, meron na po kaming learning management system even before the pandemic, but wala po siyang laman, because it was really just a goal, a future goal. But when the pandemic came, we had no choice but really to transform everything online and build on the content of our learning management system. And so, speaking of a while ago, I mentioned about constructivism. To give you an idea of what it is, we at MDSF believe that the highest cognitive activity that our students must practice or must acquire, um, in order for them to be prepared to the future, is the ability to create ideas, knowledge, and products, and be able to use these ideas and new knowledge into and apply them into their situation, or in real life. Okay, so that's what we believe in. We really give premium on creativity and innovation. The ability to create is really a big deal for us. That's why at the end of each quarter, our our students are really expected outputs that really come from their own ideas, that are derived from the knowledge that they have learned from the day-to-day virtual meetings and independent study tasks. So Teacher Chris, what are you talking about? I don't know what that is. So to give you a better or a visual representation of their outputs, I will be showing you a video of their performance tasks. Okay, please give me some time to load it, but I think it's not loading. Maybe a few more seconds. All right, maybe later if we have extra time, I will be showing. Yeah,
Here
okay,
are
there.
the highlights of the integrated Here are the highlights of the integrated performance tasks of our dear Segredans.
All right, so I'll have to end on that. So that's for that's about the output of our students for a quarter only. So that's their outputs for the second quarter of last year from grades 1 to 6. So I'd like to know, dear parents, what are the things that you noticed with their outputs or with their activities? Please type it in the chat box for me to see it. Is there anything that you noticed? Okay, yes, it is done quarterly. Their performance tasks are done quarterly. All right, what did you notice? Okay, so if you notice it, it's very experiential. They really make use of real materials, real projects. And then for some, they really are able to act it out. They are the ones explaining it, right? And then what else? You will really see the parent, the students are really active. There's really so much a lot of active learning that is being done. And then if you notice it, they are also migrating or documenting everything using technology. So the technology plays a very big role in the continuation of learning, in the processing of learning. Okay, so anything else that you noticed, right? Okay, I will be presenting again. Okay, so that is the concrete examples of our constructivist approach. If you notice it, in the grades 1 to 3, there are some outputs that are also that needed assistance and guidance of the parents. But again, just like what I said, it really depends on the independence level of the child. Like there are really children as young as grade 1, after a few times of attending their virtual meeting and doing their independent study tasks with their parents, they are free to go. I mean, they can do it all by themselves. And then there are students naman that, especially in grades 1 to 3, that still need assistance and supervision of their parents at home. Okay? So in order for us to become a learning hub for creativity and innovation, these are the goals or the things that we need to realize or to do as we plan as we plan and implement our curriculum. We have to take into consideration the learner-centeredness of our learning plans. Of course, we should not also forget about inculcating values that are anchored in the values of the Holy Family of Nazareth, which is our patron saint or the icon that is found in our logo. MDSF is located in Tangos, Baliwag, Bulacan, and Holy Family is our patron saint. We want to become a learning organization wherein teachers and even administrators are lifelong learners. We never stop learning. As a matter of fact, we just came from a 1-month in-service training wherein we really rigidly worked on our curriculum maps and see ways on how to further become intentional in our curriculum implementation. And lastly, to provide a safe and conducive to learning online and on-site learning environment. Okay, these are our goals at the end of their 6th year in the elementary department. We want them to become independent learners. Okay, so here are the core values that we deeply believe in at MDSF. At MDSF, We believe in love and justice, sense of family, servant leadership, the value of self-discipline, and of course, excellence in everything that we do. What about you, our dear parents? It's very important na before we partner up, you also assess the core values that you believe as a family and see if there is alignment with my child's school's core values, because there should be continuum of inculcating these values, right? Okay, you can type it in the chat box if you believe in sense of, you value sense of family, if family really comes first to you, if you value self-discipline or excellence and love and justice, or servant leadership. Okay, now a while ago you saw our learners in action. You saw a lot of activities, you saw presentations, you saw dancing and explaining and everything. Talagang it's really jam-packed. Learning is jam-packed at MDSF. So why are we doing this? Why are we designing our learning experiences or our weekly learning plans such as this way? Because at the end of their 13-year program at MDSF, at the after they graduate in the senior high, we envision them to be acquired, to be having been acquired of these skills. So service orientedness, we want them to become critical thinkers, we want them to become problem solvers, we want them to become effective communicators, media and information technology literates, transformative collaborators, and nationalistic citizens of the Philippines. So for the facilities, I don't know if you were able if you already happened to visit MDSF in the past. So just to give you an idea, at MDSF, we operate, in terms of our physical operations, we operate per department. So each department has its own campus, and your child will not be mixed with the lower and the upper school students, okay? Students of upper levels. So this is our pre-elementary building. That's our recently launched infrastructure. Our elementary building, this at the moment, there are parents here who are frontliners. So maybe you were vaccinated here or maybe in some other schools. At the moment, MDSF is being utilized by our local government unit as one of its vaccination sites. So this is our high school department. Our academic support facilities, we have the school gymnasium, which is our vaccination site at the moment. Our swim center, wherein our students would hold a quarter of their swim class together with their friends and teachers. And then we have the chapters, our social hall, where formal school events like parents orientation, foundation day celebration, graduation and recognition rites are being held. Then there's the MDSF Parks and Recreation, where they do planting, picnic, and outdoor activities. Okay, so to better give you a tour of our campuses, please watch this video. right, so that's for our physical facilities. I hope that through these videos you were really able to feel like you were at MDSF. Okay, so now we have come to the part where we are going to be present. I think this is the most important part of our session today. Um, so we are being joined by our assistant principal in the elementary department, Teacher Kai, because she will be talking about our homeschool program. So at this point, I'd like to ask first if uh, if any one of you is interested in doing the Play Sagradan or the parent-led learning approach for the young Sagradan for grades 1 to 6. So this is a program where the parent or a tutor or an adult at home acts as the main facilitator of learning. So she is the one in charge of creating the learning plans, the assessment tools, and facilitating the curriculum to the child without the intervention of a teacher. So if there is anyone here, kindly raise your hand or type it in the chat box. We're going to be waiting for your responses. So that's our Play Sagradan. Teacher Kai?
Teacher Chris?
Yes. So is there anyone, dear parents? You may raise your hand or type it in the chat box. Okay. Now, if there is someone who is interested, Teacher Kai is going to be putting a link in the chat box that you will click. So you will be joining with her and she will be presenting to you our Play Sagradan. Okay? Teacher Kai, please put it in the chat box. Now, those who are interested in the home-based e-learning are Fly and Safe. Please stay. Okay, you will be with me. Okay. All right, Teacher Kai, I think there's a parent. Okay, please put na your link. All right, bye, Teacher Kai. Okay. So, dear parents, I will be presenting to you our home-based e-learning program. So, in other schools or in other settings, this is also called the online distance learning, remote learning, flexible learning. So, whatever you are, whatever they want to call this, this is this type of program involves a teacher, a learning management system, and a learning partner. Okay? So at MDSF, we call our home-based e-learning program the Fly Sagradan for Junior CASA to Grade 3 and the SAFE program or the Sagradan Access to Flexible E-Learning for grades 4 to 12. So Teacher Chris, what is the difference? They both use the LMS. There's a set of teachers, but for the Fly Sagradan, there is a learning partner or a support coming from the parent or the adult in the house. And in the grades 4 to 6, they are already expected to be self-directed and independent learners. Okay. So just to show you how we really take our curriculum implementation seriously at MDSF, this is a very complicated process map that we follow. So it's not like, you know, we just teach what we want to do to teach. Whatever is based on the prescribed competencies by Department of Education. No, that's not how we do it. So to give you, this is a little complicated, but to give you an idea how we enrich and plan for our curriculum, first is we map out the curriculum, we integrate whatever can be integrated. Actually, for this school year, there is a lot of innovation when it comes to our curriculum because we are doing it by theme. okay? And we want it to be as relevant as possible. We want it to be as authentic as possible. And then after it is being mapped out, the teacher designs the instruction. So she creates weekly learning plans, and it's being checked by the supervisor, even the materials. Oh, that's how rigid it is here at MDSF. And then once it is checked and it gets a go signal, it is now migrated to the learning management system. And in the learning management system, the teacher facilitates the learning online, and the student attends the virtual meetings in the morning, and they do the students do their independent study tasks in the afternoon. Okay, so they do skill building, they peruse learning materials, they do skill building activities, they do quizzes there, and they work on their performance tasks. Now, a while ago, I saw a question about grading, so later I will be accommodating that. But to let you know, according to DepEd memo, when it comes to assessment, the performance task, or the one that was presented in the video a while ago, the outputs, they represent a grade or a higher percentage of the grades of the students, okay? Ito po yung mga performance tasks. And at MDSF, because we want them to become proficient communicators and collaborators, we really let them present their performance task, and this is part of their culminating activity. At the end of each quarter, or now they are planning to do it at the end of 2 quarters, okay? Now, I will be giving you, Teacher Chris, what does the learning management system of MDSF look like? So I will be giving you a walkthrough, but before that, we most of us are wives here, or mothers here. I'd like to know, dear parents, if you were to be given all the resources in the world, the time, the money, and the recipes, what would you prefer to be serving to your family? Is it canned food or homemade food? Put it in the chat box. And then why? I'd like to know why. Okay, so at the moment, Mrs. Orsine, Miss Mary Rose Orsine, please click the meeting link given by Teacher Kai. You mentioned that you're interested in the play program. Okay. All right. So Mrs. Perez said, I prefer homemade because it is short. I'm sure that it's safe. I agree. So at MDSF, I'm very, very pleased and proud to share with you, our dear parents, that our learning management system is organic. It's not canned. It's teacher made. So what is the difference between the two? So there's nothing wrong with canned learning management system. It is a learning management system that is created by someone or an expert outside the school, and all of the activities are generated or maybe based from artificial intelligence and all that. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want really to have, I believe as educator, if you want to have a long-lasting or a more meaningful impact or a more meaningful learning experience, it has to be a teacher-made learning management system. Because while the teacher is designing the learning experience, she has already considered all of the needs of her students while she is preparing for the activities. Ayan, parang lang pong gumagawa tayo ng ingredient, di ba? Gusto ko fresh. Gusto ko to kasi gusto kong lagyan ng mushroom kasi gusto to nung anak ko. Gusto ko tong lagyan gusto ko hindi masyadong maalat kasi gusto nung asawa ko, hindi masyadong maalat. it's very personalized, it's very custom made for the learners, okay? So during the process, the teacher can 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 adjust, can revise according to the needs of his or her students. So it's very important to know if your child's school's learning management system is already parang a computer generated system, or the content is generated already or pre-made, or is it organic or teacher made. Okay. Now, to give you a walkthrough of the learning management system, the LMS is the virtual campus of your child. So every day when he attends his classes, he will have to log in to this, the www.mdsflms.com. So I will be showing you the content. Okay, wait. Let's go first to grade 1. Okay. So since I am a school administrator, I am enrolled in all of the courses, so I can see it here. Okay. So this is the welcome page of the grade 1. Okay, I will zoom it in. So in the LMS, all of the buttons that you need in order for your child to attend these classes and do his independent study tasks are already there. So in the welcome page, you will see important buttons like the instruction, the virtual meeting room link. So in the morning, they are to attend their virtual meetings. So that's from around 8 o'clock to 10 for grades 1 to 3, and 8 o'clock to 11 for grades 4 to 6. Okay? And, oh, sorry. So that's for the welcome page of grade 1. All right. So there's the virtual meeting link, and then the academic, the consultation room link in the afternoon as they do their independent study tasks, or IS. They will get to, they have the chance to consult with their teachers in the afternoon. Then they have the academic weekly planner. So it's not clickable here because in the recent weeks or the last week, wala na po silang masyadong ginawa. So it's taken down. But the academic weekly planner gives you or the parent and the child an overview of what the week would be like, so that if there is anything that needs to be prepared, you will be able to prepare. Or if you want to do advanced or advanced perusing, you can do it. Or if you miss a class, it's also there. You would know what you did for that day. And then there's, this is a sample class program. So there. So Amber is the second session. So it starts at 10 o'clock. In the morning, they do check-in, 10 to 10:10. And then first subject is 10:10 to 10:35. Then we value mental health and physical health. So there's brain break in between. That's 5 minutes. Then another 10:40 to 11:05 for English. And then health break, and then science, and then brain break, and then ESP. And then in the afternoon, they do independent study. So that's the time our teachers are on standby if they have questions and clarifications regarding their IS tasks. So there are different subjects on Mondays and Wednesdays. They have the same subject Mondays and Wednesdays, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are same subjects as well. And then on Fridays, we do non-academic activities like First Friday Mass, the Virtues Project, the home program. We also do club activities every first and third Fridays. We do homeroom advisors report. This is very important. We really see to it that we update our parents from time to time. Then there's also enrichment academic classes for selected pupils who are having a challenging time with their academic work. Okay. All right, I'm going to be zooming it in for you to. All right. And you know what? If you want, we can also, if you want to request, we can give you a sample of this, since this is the most asked question. Okay, just send a message in our Facebook page. Okay. Now that's the class program. Then the calendar is here and general announcement. The letters for parents. Then we also have the learning portfolio or the activity tracker. This is a mechanism for you to know the progress of your child, and kasi usually po as each day goes by, more and more tasks need to be done. So it's very challenging to keep track of it. So the activity tracker helps you to identify which have you completed already and which activities that your child needs to do pa. Okay. Yes. Yeah. This is for grades 1 to 3. The grades 4 to 6 is different. Okay, later po. Then here are the others buttons, the wellness. So our guidance counselors are on standby. They can do appointment. And then Sagradan's Virtues Project is here, the clubs, the library. There's also the Scholastic Learning Zone where they can access thousands um, of books for reference and for recreation. So there, okay. And then directory of units, the family handbook is here, okay. And the list of materials needed for the quarter. Then we also value feedback from parents. So parents can answer this from time to time. Feedback of students as well. And then here are the performance tasks. So there's a lot of buttons, but we are planning to simplify it as I mean, not simplify, but to revise it and just maybe merge some and put and leave those that are essential. Okay. All right. Now I will be sharing with you the content of the LMS, the course, the mismong course na. Okay? Of grade 1. So how does it work, Teacher Chris? Is learning really possible during a pandemic? Well, it turns out it's really possible. And you know what? They were really able to to form connections. Ang galing. Okay, so this is a sample of grade 1. So just for the information of everyone, grades 1 to 3 is self-contained. Teacher Chris, what does it mean? So they have the same set of teachers, 2 teachers, and the 2 teachers teach all subjects. Okay, why are we doing this? Because we believe that our students in the grades 1 to 3, they need a more motherly approach. So if they will have multiple teachers, parang the connection is not that furthered. It's not that honed, because for every, parang it would be challenging for them to connect and build relationship if from time to time nag-iiba yung mga teachers nila. Okay. So this is how the course page looks like. So it is categorized or organized into quarters. So for the first quarter, you will see weeks. Okay. Sorry, it's hidden. Maybe I'll click the 4th quarter. All right. I think I'm having just a sec. Okay, so there. So it's categorized into weeks. So your child will just click the week for that month, and then there are announcements, and then for day one, March 1, on Monday, they will be talking about English, math, science, and ESP. So papasok lang po yung anak ninyo for the virtual meeting activities in the morning. So you will see now the the content. So just like what I said, it is homemade or teacher made. So there, here are the activities in English. Watch the video by Hopscotch Sentence Songs. So I think the lesson is all about sentence or non-sentence. So it's here. Okay, so it is accessible 24/7. Okay. Then discussion and discourse, sentence and non-sentence. Study the presentation of the lesson. Okay. So it's here. My internet is just acting up. So there. So this is more of like a study note created by the teacher. Okay. And then after that, so the teacher will be the one to discuss that. So after that, there is a skill building activity that is available from March 1 to 21. March 1, 2021. So there. Okay, so the child can already put it here and then answer it here and then submit. So there. Okay. And then the teacher will check and give feedback. All right. So, and then that's for the independent, and then that's only for English, okay? Kasi po, iba't ibang, there are 3 subjects for the day. And then in the afternoon, they will be doing their independent study activities. So in English, there's the skill building. In math, there's the skill building, there's drill and practice, there's reinforcement video. So everything that they need, it's already here. All that the parents need to do is just guide if there is a need for the parent to guide the child. Okay, so there. So there's the study notes and the skill building number 2. All right. So that's for grade 1. Now we go to another grade, which is grade 4. So the content of the welcome page of grade 4 is almost the same as grade 1, but I will be showing you the schedule in, let's see if there's there. So this is a sample of the academic weekly planner. So that's the one that they will be doing every day. So the child already has an idea. Then this one is the class program. So there. So as you can see, it starts at 8 o'clock, check in, 20 minutes check in, 30 minutes for the first subject, and then 10 minutes for brain break. Then 30 minutes for the second subject, 20 minutes for health break, 30 minutes for the third subject, and then there's brain break, and then 30 minutes for the fourth subject, and then there's once a day they do once a week they do computer. Okay, so there's like an extension, but usually their class ends at 11 o'clock. Okay, so in the 12 o'clock onwards, independent study time. Okay, So this is the course page of um, English of grade 4. Okay. So in grade, just like what I said, in grades 4 to 6, they do compartmentalize. So one teacher, one subject. Okay. So this is a sample of what's inside. Okay. So nandito na rin po yung performance task nila. And then the rubric for grading is here. So it's really very parang even if you do a self-study or talagang we are really preparing them for independent learning. Okay? So there. So for virtual meeting, they will have to attend their virtual meeting in the morning. So, and then this one is because the subject or the topic is all about parts of a simple paragraph. So they will be asked to watch this video and then discussion. So there is a PDF about parts of a simple paragraph. So there. Okay. And then there's also a game-based activity, reflection time. So they will be asked type 3 things that you've learned in the discussion. And then in the afternoon, they will do independent study. So this is their independent study in the afternoon. You can watch these videos on how to save file as PDF, submit assignment in LMS, and then download all files below and read the 3 simple paragraphs and recognize its parts using hamburger paragraph chart. Your output should be sent as PDF via LMS and follow the name format. So there's already the rubric for grading. So there. Okay. So that's for one subject, for one independent study task. All right. Now going back, so that is the content of our learning management system. Now, for the requirements, in order for your child to become a grade 1, your child must be a kindergarten completer. That's the entry level to the elementary department. For the academic schedule, they have for grades 1 to 3, they have 2 hours of virtual meeting. For grades 4 to 6, they have 3 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours of virtual meeting in the morning. And then again in the afternoon, they do asynchronous studies or independent studies. But our teachers are on standby in the afternoon if there is a need for consultation. This is the schedule. For grades 1 to 3, you get to choose. I understand that there are some inquiries coming from UAE or other countries that have a different time zone. So if you want, you can choose a different schedule, which is there are two, 8 o'clock to 10 to 10 a.m. and 10:10 to 12:10 noon in the second session. This is for grades 1 to grade 3, and then 2 hours in the afternoon of consultation. And then in grades 4 to 6, it's 8 o'clock to 11:30 with brain breaks and consultation hours in the afternoon as well. Okay, class size. A while ago, someone mentioned about student ratio. So it is with assurance that Teacher Chris, baka naman masyadong madami kasi remote nga eh. So our teachers are trained in managing their classroom, whether it is physical or virtual. So in the elementary, in grades 1 to 3, there are 2 teachers in one class, in one virtual meeting room. And the class size is 20 to 25 students. In the grades 4 to 6, 1 teacher per class, 1 teacher per subject, and it's more manageable. It's 20 to 25 students. Okay? Our teachers are also trained to do breakout rooms to let our students collaborate. This is especially in grades 4 to 6. we believe that in order for them to also further learn, they don't only need to learn from their teacher, but also from each other as well. So this is a sample of the academic weekly planner that I was telling you about. So makikita na natin what are expected of them, what is going to be discussed for that day. Okay. Right? Our competent faculty members, I'm very proud to inform you, our dear parents, that they are really equipped and trained to be facilitating online classes. They were trained by none other than Dr. Ferdinand Pitagan. He is the consultant of UNESCO for EdTech, and he is the Dean of Education at the National Teachers College. And this is really his expertise. They are trained to design learner-centered learning plans, student activities, and facilitating them, assessing them, and reporting them as well, processing learning, and also to arrive at activities that really target higher order thinking skills. Okay, so what is our also way of ensuring quality in the um, in the implementation or delivery of the curriculum? So our teachers in the elementary department are being supervised by subject area supervisors and department heads. They are the members of the academic council. So, kamukha po nung pinakita namin sa inyo kanina, before it, MDSF, they don't just teach what they want to teach or how they want to teach it. They really go through a very rigid curriculum implementation process. It's even more rigid now during online learning because that is our way of, ensuring that there's quality with the output of the teachers. Okay, so they are grouped according to their areas, and they are being led by a supervisor who is a seasoned expert of their area or of their subject field. Now, we're also very pleased to inform you that as far in terms of as of 2019 to 2020, the passing rate of our Sagradan teachers in the licensure examination for teachers is around 95%. Unfortunately, the case is different now because the teachers, the licensure has been postponed a couple of times. Hopefully, it will push through this school year. Now, for the academic support of the Fly Sagradan, your child will be given access to the Scholastic Learning Zone. This is the virtual library, the wellness programs, access to our counseling officer. There's close monitoring through the activity tracker. We do scholarship meetings in the middle of the quarter. We coordinate with parents whose children are having a hard time coping with the demands of their academic life. We also give remediation or enrichment classes to them for free every Friday. All they need to do is attend. Then we also do online consultation rooms. That's every day for 2 hours. And definitely there's ICT support. So for their password, missing tabs in the welcome page and all, we are very responsive to that. Then for the parent support, there's the parent portal, the Facebook page, the Parents Are Partners support group. Then we are very religious in the advisors reporting day because ngayon po na hindi na po nagkikita-kita, ang importante po ay magka-connect. Here are the responsibilities expected among parents. Regularly attend parent meetings. Regularly check academic weekly planner, especially for grades 1 to 6. In the lower grade school, assist in the academic activities. In the upper grade school, You don't need to assist, but please check the activity tracker. Kasi po may mga times po na na-experience po namin, all the while they thought that their child is attending a virtual meeting, iba na po pala yung ginagawa. So we devised the activity tracker. Nakita po doon if the child is really religiously doing the activities, but kailangan po talagang i-check ng parents kung nagagawa po ito. Okay? Also participate in the feedbacking mechanism through the survey cycles. And lastly, which is also very important, ensure that their financial obligations in school are settled. The admission for requirements, the birth certificate and report card. So we understand that due to the pandemic and there are some students that are still attending modular learning now. So the the report card could be to follow, but for as long as you are not able to submit the report card, your child will be temporarily enrolled and will only be officially enrolled upon your submission of his or her report card. Then birth certificate is also a requirement. So in the absence of a report card, you may also submit your child's school ID or any school document that will reflect his present grade level. Now for the enrollment procedures, after this, if you want to reserve or pre-register, you may do so. We're going to be giving you the link. Reservation is optional. Then there are two ways to enroll. There's online enrollment and on-site enrollment. If you want to do online, all you need to do is get or access the enrollment link from us. And then from there, we're going to guide you through the process through email. And then we also accept online payment and credit card. We, for on-site enrollment, make sure that you bring your IM Safe, your face mask, and your face shield. And so there. And then for tuition fee payment, just like what I said, we accept credit card and online payment. And we also do accept payment in the school cashier. Then after that, you will be issued your child's ID and the learning management system credentials and G Suite credentials. And then there will be a parent orientation. And for the new students, there will also be an orientation for new students happening on July 19. Now that's for the tuition fee inquiry. If you haven't viewed our tuition fee inquiry, you may scan the link, then prescribe books. Then the learning kits are also available. The reservation is here. You may also scan the QR code. And lastly, before I end my presentation, I'm very pleased and glad to inform you that based on our re-enrollment survey that was given to our Sagradan parents enrolled in the Fly and Safe program in 2020-2021, they were asked if they were to re-enroll their child, and almost 85% of them said yes. And for us, this is an indicator that we have lived up to their expectations and that they are satisfied with our services. It was really a very challenging school year, a very resilient school year, but we have managed to pull through God's grace. And of course, the Sagradan spirit of really, wanting to serve our Sagradan families. Okay. Now, thank you for listening. We still have a few minutes to accommodate your questions. I'm now going to, okay. All right. So there are a couple of questions here. Okay, that's a these are good questions. Okay. When do you start providing access to LMS? That will be a week before or a few days before the start of the classes, which will happen on July 19. So, dear parents, kayo po, ito po. If you will enroll your child at MDSF, you will be considered as a new family. So, there will be an orientation for parents a week before July 19. It will start on July 13, 14, 15, 16. And then there will be an orientation for new students on July 19. That will be our welcome program for them. Okay. And then so there we will be starting to provide the access to LMS a few days before the classes start. Yes. Oh, is praying being introduced every subject? So there is a check-in session and prayer is done there. Okay. Maybe some MDSF in terms of spirituality, it is and religion, it is a non-sectorial school, meaning we don't impose or we don't indoctrinate the a certain religion. But since MDSF is a majority of the students are Catholics, so we practice prayer, we practice Christianity, but of course we also respect the different beliefs of Sagradan families. We have Sagradan families that are Iglesia ni Cristo, Dating Daan, Protestant, Jehovah's Witness, and they're all welcome at MDSF. And we hold First Friday Mass, of course, every first Friday of the month. But there is we don't require our non-Catholic students to participate. Instead, there is an alternative activity for them. But praying is really encouraged during the check-in time. That's around 8 o'clock. So the start of class, Mrs. Perez, yesterday the Department of Education issued a memo informing all private school institutions that they may already start their school year even if there is no official calendar that will be issued by the Department of Education. So for MDSF, we are starting on July 19, 2021. Okay. So our books required to be purchased. So speaking of books, we have only selected books. Why is that so? Because during last school year, it was observed that because na yung Department of Education po ay nag-issue lang po sila ng most essential learning competencies. So only a few, selected competencies are prescribed. So the books were not really, the thick books were not really super utilized. And we also have observed that our teachers were able to come up, parang the content of the LMS was already enough for the pandemic. So books are not required. You may purchase them elsewhere. So there. All right. There are some questions about the uniform. We don't have a prescribed uniform at MDSF, but your child is required to wear a decent piece of clothing when attending virtual meeting. Also, we will be requiring our students to turn on their camera while attending their virtual meeting in order for us to humanize the online learning experience. Okay, this is a good question. At any point within the school year, do you foresee a chance of face-to-face learning? Actually, the goal, even the UNESCO and the UNICEF, the goal of these organizations is for physical schools to really open and start, accepting students face-to-face. That is also our goal, because we believe that, locking our students in the comforts of their home has its own pros and cons. But having extended um, lockdown for them could be detrimental to their mental health. So um, I'm in coordination with our local government unit and with some consultants. And according to them, of course, there's nothing certain, because, who knows, there could be surges and all that. But if we are able to reach herd immunity, we could start doing simulations of face to face. I know some school administrators who are planning to do simulations of hybrid classes with the permit of their local government unit. In the middle of the school year, they're going to prepare, and that's also what we're thinking now. We're really gearing towards reopening of the school next school year. So that's 2022 to 2022 to 2023. Okay? So I hope, Mrs. Lumawig, I was able to answer your question. We hope to prepare for our face-to-face next school year. Okay, after this school year, then next school year. What is the minimum number of performance tasks should every student do in every subject per quarter? Okay, this is also a good question. At the moment, we are trying to integrate the performance tasks. We have decided to also do a set of performance tasks for 2 quarters. So these are going to be explained and introduced to every parent this school year. Okay. The Since we did a major revisiting of our curriculum, our teachers, okay, I'm very proud of them. Our teachers are really working hand in hand on how to better integrate the performance tasks, the competencies that are going to be covered for every quarter, and how learning can be promoted in such a way that it will not be a burden for the students. Okay? Okay, number of performance tasks is there is a grand peta and then there are mini tasks. Okay, but just like what I said, they are doing it intentionally right now. They are all planning para makita nila if it's doable but challenging for the students. Okay, now from Mrs. Dinos, until when is the enrollment fee if we are not able to do a reservation? So, okay, to our dear parents, as schools po kasi, it's really very important to have to be to have a projection of the enrollment at least a month before the opening of the classes. So it's really very important na meron po tayong cut off, but I understand that there should also be a period for late enrollment. So we are giving until the first week of July for enrollment. That will be, and I believe po na if there will be late enrollees, we will still accept them, but the enrollment period will be until the first week of July. All right. Okay. And it's okay if you don't get to reserve, but if you have a preferred schedule for grades 1 to 3, for example, you really want it to be in the morning or you really want it to be in the second session, we really encourage you to reserve. Okay? So how do you handle gift giving from parents, teachers? This could initiate special treatment to students, promote unfair treatment, and more exposure to select students. So, dear parents, before the pandemic, we used to have a policy that gift giving is not encouraged and tolerated at MDSF. However, we can only monitor what we do know, okay? And we trust our teachers in the spirit of goodwill and trust. We trust them that They are not going to be accepting gifts in return of favors. Okay, and this one we need to really, you know, we need to keep on reinforcing it to them, to keep on reminding it to them. But we discourage gift giving. However, when the pandemic happened, it's a different story. It's like the only parang uh, gifts are like gifts in the form of food or in the form of, you know, small tokens, since there is no face-to-face encounter between the student and the teacher. This is their only way of showing really their fondness for each other. And I've also experienced not only students giving gifts to the teachers, but also teachers giving gifts to the students. Okay, so there, yeah. And you know, at MDSF, um teacher Gladys knows it. So well, teacher Gladys is our former teacher, and she's one of our participants here. And teacher Gladys knows this, right? At MDSF, our communication lines are open, right, teacher Gladys? So for parents
We
who
are
are experiencing,
professionals.
yeah, professional. Yes. So for parents who are experiencing, you know, treatment that they seem to be unfair and all that, naniniwala po kami na wala pong nasosolve sa hindi lahat po ay nasosolve sa pag-uusap, sa open communication, right, teacher Gladys? Okay, all right. Okay. So do students have any awards after school year like the other schools? Okay. So we will be that's a good question. We will be explaining this to the parents during the orientation week. So at the moment, we were told by the Department of Education that there are academic awards that are suspended during the pandemic, and only the graduating levels will be given academic awards, and we're going to adhere to that. But there will be non-academic awards that are to be given to show appreciation also to the strengths and to the efforts of the students. So there, and also every quarter there is a culmination celebration. So talagang pinaparamdam po ng mga teachers sa mga students natin na um, yung level of fulfillment, or talaga pong that their works are really appreciated. Okay. Is it 2 hours virtual class every day for grade 3? Yes. And 3 hours virtual class every day for grade 4? Yes. Yes, Mr. Umani. 2 hours for grade 3 and 3 hours for grade 4. But with health break in between, so they are not expected to be looking at the screen the entire time, because that's bad. So there's health break. We ask them to do an offline activity for 10 minutes so that it would be healthy for their eyes. Okay, so Mrs. Labonete, what kind of LMS are you using? So it's Moodle. Okay, so far it is teacher and student friendly. So Ms. Gregana, how many hours for grade 5 students every virtual class? So it's three hours from 8 to 11. So their virtual meeting is the part where they are going to be attending their class with their classmates, and then they do independent study tasks in the afternoon. Okay. Oh, that's good. Yes. Okay. Welcome to MDSF. All right. So, Mrs. Perez, kindly send a message for in the Facebook page, and then we're going to be giving you a copy of the schedule. All right. So, are there other questions? All right. I understand that it's 12:09. Okay. our son can only speak English but can understand some Tagalog words. Yes, the medium of instruction that is being used by our teachers is English. However, there are some concepts that are better understood if it is explained using the Tagalog instruction. So don't worry if your children are pure English speakers. So they will be given accommodation, like in the afternoon they can do consultation. Also, there are some subjects that are needed to be delivered in Tagalog, like of course Filipino, ESP, Araling Panlipunan, right? So I also suggest that if your children are pure English speaking, well, MDSF is a Filipino school, so maybe it's also important for you to introduce or train them to understand Tagalog, since Tagalog is our native language in Bulacan. Okay, so a mother tongue is integrated in Filipino, Mrs. Labonete. So we did our curriculum mapping, and para po hindi na po maging redundant yung mother tongue and Filipino, we just integrated them for grades 1 to 3. All right. Yes, don't worry, Mrs. Gregana. Everything that you need to know for the orientation, even the items for the parents' orientation, are going to be given to you ahead of time. It will be done using our Facebook group. The parents are partners. So you will be given, just check your child's Gmail account from time to time, because all of the information are going to be reflected there. Thank you. Okay. And it will happen on a week before July 19. Okay. All right. So it's 12:11. If you have other questions, you know what? Okay. The learning kits, yes, you may purchase them from the bookstore or you may purchase them elsewhere. So the learning kits, Miss Pookie, can you please put the learning kit PDF, the content of the learning kit? It's in the Facebook page. Okay, so this is a good question. Miss Labonete, the content of the learning kit is going to be pasted in the Google chat, in the chat box. So the learning kits, yes, it can be printed, yeah. Yes, the content of the learning kit can be printed. There is an itemized list of the contents of the learning kit, and then you may purchase them from elsewhere, National Bookstore. But if you do not want to go, and buy it on a one go, you may purchase it from our Sagradan Bookstore. So also, dear parents, this is also to let you know that we don't have examination, we don't have quarterly exams. So the performance tasks really play a big percentage of their final grade. So there's a question from Mr. De La Cruz. Students coming from different time zones, the attendance will not play a big role for the grades. They are not a basis of the computation of grades. But of course, it's very important that their participation in their virtual meeting would be utilized. But if because of the learning, the time zone, then we cannot do anything about it. It's just very important for them to, do advanced studies, or they will just peruse what is in their learning management system and just attend the subjects that they can attend, and they can visit the virtual consultation meeting link in the afternoon. Okay. You're welcome. Are there clubs that they can join? Yes, they have clubs, but it's all online at the moment. I believe they have sports club as well, but it's not sports specific. like this is the basketball club, but we used to do that when we had face to face. There's at the Sagradan Ballers Club, but of course, because of the restrictions, we cannot do that at the moment. Okay. All right. Other questions? So we kind of extended. I apologize for the extension. I know that it's already lunchtime. Maybe some of you are already eating lunch, and that's totally fine. So if there are no other questions, this is also to let you know that I have a Facebook account. So if you have other questions or concerns, um, you don't need to add me up as a friend, but you may send a direct message to my account, and I will be more than willing to accommodate you, or send a message to our Facebook account, and they're very responsive to your concerns. All right. So at this moment, dear parents, on behalf of the Montessori de Sagrada Familia admin, teachers, and staff, I want to thank you for spending 2 hours of your time for today's virtual open house. Maraming salamat po. I hope that we could be of service to your family in the coming school year. We hope to see you. And for the spirit of documentation, let's all turn on our camera so that we can, document this virtual open house event. Hello po. Okay. All right. So we will be taking pictures. All right. Hello po. I hope that you are safe and healthy. You're COVID free. And if you are on quarantine, kaya nyo po yan. So I'll be pressing the camera. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much, dear parents. God bless you po. Bye.